This week on Country Music Junkies, we have a new artist to introduce you to. He is a North Carolina native, and we have him on the phone. Chris Lane, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Well, we are so pleased to have you here. We are so excited about your new single that's been released, Broken Windshield View. I love it. It is such a cool, fun song. Can we start off talking a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. It was one of those songs that the song title it jumped out and grabbed me right away, and I heard the demo, and I love that. But I feel like it's one of those songs that I've lived my entire life. Growing up, my dad always had broken windshield in his truck that he drove around, and before I moved to Nashville and signed to Big Loud Mountain, I was doing a landscaping job, and my work truck had this huge crack across the windshield. And I think anybody that grows up out in the country can easily relate to this song. It was just fun, it was upbeat, it was rocking, it was my style. I just loved everything about it.
Well, we love everything about it, too. It is a great song. Fans, be sure to check that out for sure. Now, Chris, take us back to the beginning of your musical journey. Was becoming, a country music artist always something in the back of your mind that you always wanted to do?
Actually, it was not. I grew up playing sports my entire life. I mean, that's truly all I ever knew.
Okay.
Because that's what, I have an identical twin brother, and we both played together, and my dad was just hardcore. He was all about sports, and, I played football, baseball, basketball my entire life as I was growing up as a kid, and, as I got into high school, it was baseball and football, and then when I graduated from high school, I played college baseball, and I thought that was something that I would be doing,
right,
for quite some time after college. But I guess the Lord had different plans in my life, and I went to a Keith Urban concert while I was in college, and it kind of inspired me to want to just learn how to play the guitar, just because he put on such an awesome show, and I was like, dang, that was so good. But so I asked for a guitar for Christmas one year, and my parents got it for me. And I started learning from there, right as I was getting out of college. And I moved home. I started doing some landscaping, and I started learning how to play the guitar, and it randomly took off from there. And I started getting that, bug in me that I wanted to perform. So I started getting the show out, or I got my first show out. And to make a long story short, I picked up some guys and created a band, and it just kind of grew from there. And it's pretty wild to say that from that point to now, never did I ever think that I would be on tour with the hottest country band out there, Florida Georgia Line, and Nelly. So it's pretty wild. I feel very blessed that I've had these opportunities, and that it's gone to where it is right now.
Well, we are thankful for Keith Urban to have inspired you to do this. That is awesome, and very cool that was kind of your defining moment in music.
Yeah.
So you kind of jumped ahead of me, but that's awesome. Chatting about no, that's okay. It's a very exciting thing. You are going on tour with Florida Georgia Line, and you have and Nelly. You mentioned him as well, and you've also opened for some crazy huge stars: Van Perry, Chris Young, Brantley Gilbert, Lee Bryce. Tell us a little bit about how that started, because someone from North Carolina who's just learning how to play the guitar, how do you transition from that to opening for Florida Georgia Line?
Well, as I was coming up, I mean, some of those shows, like I got to open up for Brantley. In some of the club shows, like whenever the club needed an opener back at home, they knew that I could help sell extra tickets. So if anybody got the opening spot for the club show at home with a big national act, I would always get that call. So I got kind of lucky in that aspect of things. But I get to open up for Brantley there and Eli Young Band, and so that helped with the experience. And then, I started getting those FGL shows, which I started learning from them. I mean, those guys are, I'm not sure if you've seen a show before, but they are unbelievable.
I have.
And,
yeah, they're awesome.
The fact that I get to learn from them every night has been a major, major stepping stone for me. And, it's really helped me out in my performance as well, just getting to see that every night. But, it hasn't been that hard of a transition. Lee Brice as well. I mean, he's just an awesome performer, and just the way he engages the crowd, and they, they take to him. I got to watch that every night, and that's helped me as well. So the transition hasn't been that bad. I'm having the time of my life.
Well, that's awesome. That is really great. Have these artists given you any kind of verbal advice for, performing or dealing with, the country music industry? Have they told you anything that is, really stuck with you?
Yeah, I talked with Brian and Tyler from Florida Georgia Line, and some of the advice that they gave me is just be myself, and don't take it too seriously out there. Just have fun, and people will react to that, and it's been one of the best things that I could have ever heard, because you don't ever want to take it too seriously or come off too serious. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's been big for me.
Well, that's really great. So let's chat about your music. For fans who haven't heard your music before, how would you describe it? What's the sound, the vibe, the energy that you kind of like to give off in your music?
It's kind of upbeat, rocking. I mean, most of the songs that I have are, fairly upbeat. I think Broken Windshield View is just a good testament to what is coming from my sound, and what a lot of the other songs are going to be like. You know what I mean? Obviously, every song's going to be a little bit different, but I think that's just a good starting point for I think what people is going to hear from the rest of the record that I'm going to put out.
Excellent. And when can we expect to hear that? Do you have a date yet?
I don't have a date yet, but just so everybody knows, I am working hard in the studio.
Excellent. Okay, well, we'll be on the lookout for that, that's for sure. Fans, definitely be sure to check out Chris Lane online. And Chris, are you on social media? Can fans connect with you there?
Yeah, absolutely. IamChrisLane.com has all those outlets, Twitter and Instagram, it's IamChrisLane, and IamChrisLane.com for everything else, and obviously Facebook for just Chris Lane.
Excellent. Well, Chris, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your time today, and fans, definitely be sure to check out Chris online, and be sure to check out the single, Broken Windshield View. It's a great tune, and Chris, thank you so much. Stay in touch.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.